Alright everyone, welcome to another YouTube tutorial guide. Today we're going to be talking about double gas into Mech. This is one of my favorite TvT builds. I've used it quite a lot in the past. And especially with this newer variation of the double gas opener, 16, 16, 17, your economy is just really powerful. You get a fast max out, you get a fast second and third factory, which is really nice. You get those mech units nice and early. It's just a great way to open into Mech compared to Reaper FE. However, you can do Reaper FE. I just personally don't like it into Mech. So as mentioned, this build is, let me get it on my camera, 16, 16, 17. So what that means is we get a 16 racks, 16 gas, then 17 gas. And the reason we do it this way is because we don't mine any gas earlier than we need, but we get enough of it to just get a faster factory. Let me move that. There we go. Not a lot to say about what's going on right here, other than we're going to go Reaper Orbital really soon, followed by a supply depot. When you're at 80 gas, after you've got your Reaper, pull 3 off the gas and send one of them to go build a factory. I like to kind of build the factory like away from the barracks, and this is because if our opponent scouts us, they can't get in because we've walled off really early. And also, they don't know if we're going 2 racks, if we're proxying our factory. They don't know if we have made a factory in base. It's just kind of, it denies information, so it's really good. Rally the first SCV that comes out of your orbital to go and build your command center. Also, if you notice, I rallied the SCV that built the depot. I rallied him back into gas. So that CC is going to come around 217. Really nice and early. Again, the older version of double gas, you wouldn't get your command center until 225. I like to have the SCV that builds a factory to go and build a supply depot after I get a tech lab for making 2 Reapers. Rally into the gas when you're at 15 out of 16 on the mineral line. I know there's a lot going on right now, but this opening is kind of hard. Around 245, make a starport. Once you've made a single Hellion, swap the factory onto the tech lab and produce a cyclone. And the barracks is just going to kind of chill. The SCV that builds the depot is going to go and make a refinery at the natural base. You really need early gas with this build, so that's why we're getting it as quickly as we are. Get a tech lab on the starport. If you were to make a tech lab on the barracks and then like swap, you just wouldn't have enough gas to make a Raven right away, so that's why we have the starport make it. Make a second cyclone. As soon as your first gas is done at your natural, get another gas geyser. Start up a Raven. Siege tank. I like to send, once I have 2 cyclones, I like to send the Reaper Hellion out for some map vision. Just kind of to sit in likely places where our opponent might come. So right about now that you want to get your 3rd CC. Notice that I started a depot before. Sometimes if you're really mining efficiently, you get to start the command center faster. Just sort of depends. Alright, another Raven tank. And as soon as you've produced 1 Raven, start up a reactor on the barracks. If you notice, I'm waiting until I have 200 gas. Once I have 200 gas, I'm going to pull up into my main with 2 CVs, and they're going to build 2 factories. right around 5 minutes. Really early. It's quite nice with this build. Okay, the barracks is going to go make another reactor. After 2 ravens, you can go up to 3 ravens if you want. I just personally don't like it. I'll swap and start getting Vikings. You can also get your engineering bay right after you get the factories. As soon as the barracks finishes the reactor, it can kind of go into like dead airspace just to scout for drops. Or it can go out on the map. Just kind of depends on what you want to do with it. There's not a right or a wrong way. And as you can see, it's only like 6 minutes 30, but we do have quite a few awesome tech units, which is something I like. Kind of once you've established your third, you can go send your air units to patrol kind of outside the main in the dead airspace. And around 6:30, I would advise, I didn't do it this game, but around 6:30, I would advise scanning your opponent in their main and trying to figure out if they go mech or bio. And this is something you want to do regardless if you're playing mech or bio yourself. It's just a good TvT habit to get into. I did forget to mention, around 6:30, you want to start up your armory. Double armory. In TvT, I would say that your upgrades, like, it's not like maybe TvZ with Mech, where you want to hit like right when 2-1 finishes or 2-2 finishes. Realistically, with Mech and TvT, you just want to hit when you're maxed. After you've built your 2 armories, you can go and make 2 factories. And if you've noticed, I've got about 6 Vikings now. After I've made 6 Vikings, you have the option of producing medevacs. Around 8 minutes, getting your 4th CC. The reason we go medevacs is because of Hellbat drops. And if you've never done Hellbat drops to a bio player, it's so fun. I really enjoy doing it. Probably one of the funner parts of playing Mech in TvT, I would say. You can start up that blue flame as well. Blue flame is extremely important. Don't skip it. Just with your minerals that you float, just get static defense. The ratio of tech labs to reactors in our factories, you want 3 tech labs and 2 reactors. You can make up to about 4 medevacs. I wouldn't go past that. And then you want to go back into Viking production. If you see that your opponent, though, has made an early sky transition, don't do the medevac thing. Just keep making Vikings. Maybe when you have 6 Vikings, you want to scan again, for example, to see if they've added on more starports or if they're going heavier into racks. It's just situational. Versus a mech player, yourself, I would not make medevacs. I would just keep making Vikings. If you do make medevacs, you're going to want to harass with them. Like harassing their mineral lines with Hellbat drops rather than use it for actual engagements. As soon as you've created a 4th and you're going to land it, if you're floating minerals, just drop another CC. Starting up 2-2 when you can. And it's around this time that I would advise getting 2 Thors. It means that you may not max out like right away, but just get 2 Thors. Like you could max out faster at 10 minutes if we just made like tank Hellbat. But I would advise like right before your max, just get 2 Thors, because if you go push and during the push you lose air control, you're so screwed if you don't have the Thors, so you really need them. But now's the time where we're going to push out. I think I was waiting on my Thors, but they're not going to come in time. It's okay. I wouldn't expect them to come for the push anyways. So gather your army together, morph to Hellbats, put them inside the medevacs. I would definitely recommend control grouping, having like a Sky Army control group, as well as having a control group for your medevacs. When you float minerals, just throw it on extra CCs. Get more starports. You probably want to go up to about 5 starports. And versus the opponent's army, you want a Hellbat drop as you slowly siege your tanks up. So just kind of like box siege, box siege. And I'm just trying to beat the easy AI, so I'm going to drop my Vikings. I would say that if you ever feel like you have the air lead, you should definitely get smart servos, because I guess like in the late game you want smart servos anyways. I didn't get it this time, but it's a good late game upgrade for multiple units, but particularly the Vikings. And yeah, that's pretty much the build. Just waiting for the AI to surrender here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.